Hi, my name is Tomasz and you're watching Casual DIY channel. In today's video, we'll be checking out Trend's cordless router. Check out the video. As a disclaimer, this set has been sent to me by Trend. However, there is no script, there is no pressure from Trend on me to say absolutely anything on this tool. It's actually their risk of sending this tool to me, and I can do whatever I want with it. So you can be assured whatever I say on my video is exactly what I think. With that out of the way, let's have a look what's actually in the box, okay? As you can see, it's a really massive box, nice steady case, quite heavy with the content inside, and there's actually a lot of it. Now, I have been using this router for a few weeks now, and so I can give you a better information of how I feel about it. As you can see, there's a lot in here. I'm gonna take it all out and we're gonna go through all the pieces, what's actually included in this package. Right, and so as you can see, there is a lot of stuff that comes in this package. Obviously, the usual paperwork, manuals and all that, nothing interesting there. That's the spindle, that's the motor that you're gonna get in this package. It's a brushless motor, so in this case, you know, there is no issues with overheating, there's no issues with ventilation on this tool, and also because it's a brushless motor, it will take far less energy to run it for far longer. So a platform with a battery and a brushless motor is a perfect solution here. Now, looking at the tool from a bit of an up close, you can see it's really made with quality and care. That's all metal, that's metal, a bit of plastic over here at the top, but it's all, you know, hard and sturdy. At the front of the machine, you've got two buttons. One is a safety button and the other one is the start one. So to actually start the spindle, start the machine itself, what you need to do, you need to press the safety button first and then the start button. Also, what this machine has, when you press the safety button, you've got two LEDs just over here, so they will light up as well, and it indicates that the machine is ready to use. And as to expected, you've got the stop button here. Thanks to that, when you press it, you can change your bit on the router. And in this particular case, the whole package comes with a 1/4 inch collet and 8mm collet, so that's quite good. On the side of the machine, you can set up how quick this router will go. It goes from 10,000 RPMs right up to 30,000 RPMs, so that's a really decent scope there. My kit comes with one 4-amp battery, but I know there are kits with two 4-amp batteries. That simple solution, just place it in there, slide it like so, and it's ready to use. On the batteries, you've got the button to indicate how much juice you still got left, so that's quite handy as well. Obviously, adding the battery, it does add up the weight to it. Right, and so let's turn this machine on so you know exactly how it works. So that's the safety button and that's the power button. You need to press this first, after that, and it starts. And as you can hear, it's actually really quiet. I was surprised how quiet it was when I first used it. To release the battery, press the button, slide out. Simple as that. With this package, you actually get two bases. The first one is the trim base. I do actually like the edge over here. It gives you that additional space to hold the trim router correctly. So obviously you're going to grab it here, and it gives you that ability to put the pressure on the base as well. That additional lip when you leading your router on the edge is absolutely fantastic, and I have to say that's one of the favorite features. It's a simple thing, but it does change a lot in operating of the tool. There's also a dust port included, very easy to install. There's just a screw on this side that you need to undo, and you simply lock this in place like that, put the screw back in, This base also comes with its own edge guide that you just install at the back of it, like so. Very easy. And now you can run your router on the edges with the edge guide like that. Installation of the router in this base is ever so simple. Just feed it through. You can see it's got these teeth at the front over here. That's for the cog type nut that is in here. It will allow you to raise and lower the spindle inside of this base. And you just set up the desired height of the router. As mentioned before, there's an indication there, a scale, so it will tell you exactly where you are, what position you are, so that's very handy. And to lock it in place, use that lever just on the side, and that's steady and secure in the base. You also get the plunge base, so you just drop the router inside just like that. At the back you've got the locking mechanism, so that is not going anywhere. Rubber handles, really nicely done. There's not much negativity I can say about the base, apart from one thing that I will tell you in just a second. You've got the locking lever here for the depth of your cut, so that stays in place. It's actually very solid. There's no movement when you lock it in place. It doesn't budge up by a millimeter or anything like that. Sometimes that does happen with plunge bases. At the front of the machine, you've got your normal depth stop, nothing exciting here. It actually does give you an ability to do some micro adjustments at the top, so that's quite handy. I do like that. Changing the depth stop is ever so simple, just rotate it, and it does have the positive stops there, as you can probably hear, so that's that. It also comes with the edge guide. You know, nothing exciting here. You can use it from either of the sides of the machine, and then obviously you've got the locking knobs just here to make sure this is nice and steady and secure. The base also comes with the dust port, and actually this is my biggest gripe with this machine. It's not the best. I'm just going to show you this. So you need to undo one of these knobs just over here. You got the locking pins in two places just like that, so you just need to offer them up like so. Put the knob back in, secure it tightly. Now the problem with this is how flexible it is, okay? So it bends and just moves way too much. I can see myself snapping this thing off quite easily. You know, it's probably not the best solution in this case. As mentioned before, it comes with two collets, 8mm and 1/4 of an inch. You do get a key. In my particular case, as I mentioned, I've got 1 4-amp battery with a charger. Now this whole package also comes with a guide bush. It's 16mm and a centering tool. The bolt in here is actually made from metal, and you've got both options, the 8mm collet and the 1/4 of an inch, so that's quite good. You covered on both sides here. You know, it's a nice addition. Both of the bases are able to take the guide bush, which is really good and handy. However, this may not be perfect for you, but you can buy an aftermarket one that will suit your needs better with replaceable collets. And it's just nice to have the router bases already prepared for the guide bushes when you do some template work, anything like that. This is actually very handy. So let's install that as well, so you can see how this works. Just drops in there. You secure it with the bolts provided, just like so. Okay, and the way you need to adjust this to make sure this is the bit will be absolutely in center is the black plastic plate itself rather than the guided bush. So how are we going to do that? I'm going to take the router out. In this case, I've got 1/4 of an inch. Just going to hand tighten it no need for anything else. Drop it back, lock it in place, make the plunge. So now you've got that metal rod at the top over here, and we can use the cone to establish the position of our router bit. But before we do that, we need to loosen the base. And now, as you can see, there's enough movement in the base so we can set this all up correctly. So I'm just gonna drop the cone down, put some pressure on this, moving the base to the right direction, and now I can lock the screws, the bolts in place. And as you can see, that is now centered with the guide bush. Really simple solution, and it works. You got the similar thing in the trim router base. Now, one thing I wanted to mention to you as well, it actually does have 60mm plunge range, so that's quite a good range there for a small trim router. It gives you a bit more scope. But let's do some testing. I'm going to be installing 80mm straight bits in this, so we can have a look properly how this performs. If you are changing bits in your router, make sure if it's a corded one, take it out of the socket, and if it's a battery powered one, for your safety, take the battery out. Make sure to wear some eye protection and some hearing protection. Although this machine is not too loud, my shop vac is. As you can see, I've installed the edge guides. Now, as you can see, despite the dust extraction attachment, there's still plenty of shavings over here and on the floor. So definitely the dust extraction solution on the Plunge Base, it's not the best. Now I'm going to do the same test, although with the other base, again with the guide as well. So let's have a go at it. Now, as you can see, there is no dust at all. So the collection of the dust is definitely by far better on the trim router base. You know, it makes sense, it's all enclosed, so it will for sure collect the dust a lot better, and this is just proving that. Now, to give you a bit of an indication of how deep the passes were, the first one we did was 5mm, and the other one 6mm. Now I'm going to try a profile bit on the edge of the board. Let's have a look how that goes. Let's try a small round over bit. And there you go guys, that's a quick overview of the Cordless Trend router. I had this tool for over a month, but properly I have been using it for about 2 weeks. At the moment I can't see any major problems with it apart from the ones that I've mentioned. The router just works and does what it says on the tin. Now it does come in a fairly nice and neat package. However, you know, don't get me wrong, this video is not a review video. That will come down the line, probably in about 6 months, when I actually get properly test this tool and see if it will last that long, if there will be any issues with it. That will be interesting to see, as there are some mixed opinions about Trend routers. Obviously this one is a brand new one in the line, so you know, it could be very good or it could be bad, as some people think they are. Time will tell, and you can be sure that I will bring you that information down the road. Let's talk about the price, as that will be a deciding point for most of you. On Amazon, I think more or less the same package. I believe the package on Amazon's got 2 batteries. That's at £329 British pounds. So it's not super cheap. However, as you look at the package as a whole, it seems to be actually well priced. Especially when you consider, for example, a lookalikes of this tool like the Makita, which is well respected. For £160, you get just the bare tool with the trim base. And the Volt is about £200. Again, bare tool, no battery, no charger, and just with the trimmer base. So as you can see, you know, you do get a lot for your money here. The thing is, it is a brand new tool in the range of Trend, and time will tell how well they are actually made, if there are any issues with the motors. These are the brushless motors, so in theory they should work really well and have no major issues with them. But there's another factor that you need to consider. If you already invested in a battery powered make, for example like Makita, DeWalt, anything like that, then to move over to another battery powered tool company, you know, they're not exchangeable. The batteries will probably not fit in all the tools. So if you are starting your adventure, it's probably the best buy for you. Whereas if you already invested in something, it probably makes no sense. It's probably more sense in buying a router that you already got the battery pack for it. As we all know, they are very expensive. Now, I'm not trying to sell you this at all. These are just my opinions about the tool. So far, it's not too bad. So far, I'm quite happy with what I've got and what I've experienced. However, as I said, if you're not in a rush to buy one, just wait for me to get proper time with this to see if there's any issues with it, and then you'll be probably more educated and will be able to give you better knowledge about this tool set. I hope this video was informative to you, and if you did enjoy it, drop me that like button down below. And remember, if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe, as there are plenty more videos coming about tools, projects, workshop upgrades and everything else. But for now guys, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Take care.